Creating space. How to create the space for healing. Hey beautiful soul, welcome. I'm Danny and let's heal what ails you. So how do we create the space for healing? And why is that important? You need the space to heal. If you are ready to let go and transform, meaning you're ready to bring in the new, to say hey to this authentic you that's been here waiting to bust out of its cocoon and shine, right? But if you don't have the space in order to do the work, or if you don't have the space in order for all this new to come in, then it can't show up. So you can sit here saying, universe, I'm ready, I want it. But if you haven't cleared out room for it, then there's nowhere for it to come. During the beginning of this journey, it's important that you start becoming aware of yourself. You're having time to listen to your thoughts, to be in your emotions, to start understanding you on a cellular level so that you understand what wounds and life issues that you're going to be able to work through, or that you need to work through in order to grow. And I can already feel the resistance right now, and it's okay if you're resisting, but I know you're like, I don't have time for this. I've got to be here and here and here and here and do this and do that. Yeah, take off the hats. Take off the hats, butterflies. So let me ask you this, if you were physically ill, if you broke a bone, if you had a cold or the flu, what do? Do you create space for that physical healing? Do you call into work? Do you ask the family, the friends, the spouse, whoever to take over your commitments so that what? You can lay in the bed or on the couch until you feel better, right? If you have a child, you're off work for hopefully at least 6 months so you can spend time with that child and heal your own body, right? And recuperate and get used to this transition. So this is no different. This is no different than healing on the physical source. We're just dealing with the emotional aspects, the soul, okay? So how do we create that space? First off, you need to establish boundaries and learn to say no. Many of us that are on this journey that have experienced burnout, it's because we try to wear all the hats and be too many people, and we're constantly taking care of ourselves or taking care of others instead of ourselves, right? And this stems from the ego. We'll talk about all that later, but for the basics, it's not doing anybody any good for you to just wear yourself out like this, because then you become really resentful to the people that you're helping. And at some point, really, you're not being productive, because if you can't take care of anyone else effectively if you are not taking care of yourself, right? So hone in your power. Stop giving your power away by saying yes to all these things that you don't want to do, all these things that feel burdened, that feel heavy, that while yes, there's room to squeeze it in, it's going to create a whole lot of chaos to make it work. Despite, even if you enjoy it when you go and do it, if it took so much effort and zonked you to even make it happen, probably not worth your time right now. So get your calendar out. Start clearing off stuff. When work calls, say no. When the kids want this, when the family wants this, learn to say no, okay? The second way to create space is learning to ask for help. Most of us that are everything to everybody, that are wearing all the hats, have a really hard time of asking for help. And this also stems from the ego, and we can go into this a little deeper at another time. But we have to learn to ask for help. This journey, you're not going to be able to get through it if you don't ask for help. Life, you cannot get through life. This is a life journey. If you do not learn to ask for help, This was so hard for me. So hard for me. I had so many blockages when it came to asking help. But that's okay. Start small. Start small. If you need somebody to come clean the house for you, hire a housekeeper. Delegate that task to a child, to your spouse, whoever. If you need somebody to cook dinner a couple days a week instead of you, delegate that to somebody else. You have to ask for help. And no hinting, beautiful souls. No hinting. I was the world's worst at saying like, oh, I'm exhausted. I just don't feel like cooking dinner tonight. But I didn't necessarily want like crackers and chips for dinner, right? And I kind of thought maybe somebody would just say, well, I'll cook dinner for you. That didn't happen. I had to say, hey, I just don't need to cook tonight. I need to spend my time elsewhere, laying in the floor singing, one of my favorite things to do. I need you to cook dinner. Will you cook dinner? Will you fold the laundry? Blah, blah, blah. Ask for help and make sure you're voicing your power and truly asking what you need, what you want. The third way to create space for healing is creating quiet time. Again, I can feel the resistance. I know, guys, this is going to be hard. If you're a runner, if you wear multiple hats, if you're everywhere all the time, I know that you probably don't like sitting still or like being quiet. And most of the time it's hard for us to be quiet because that leaves us alone with our own thoughts and we start realizing what's going on. Whereas when we're distracted. But it's important to have this quiet time. So delegate you a space, whether or not that's inside, outside. Find something that you like to listen to. If it helps you to listen to music, that can be quiet time. Read a book, take a nap, lay and listen to the birds, watch the wind blow, whatever. You have to establish some quiet time. Get rid of the computer, get rid of the TV, get rid of the cell phone, turn it off. When those things are on, you cannot be fully present. When you are simultaneously engaged in multiple things, you cannot be present. And this is a time to go deep within you and start understanding who the soul is. Where are these wounds? Where is my thought process at? What do I need to heal? How do I feel? You need to start becoming comfortable with who you are. So many of us don't even really know what's going on within us. So, if you can do these three things, then you'll have a great environment for healing. And you'll notice that your healing will go a little bit more smooth because you're actually creating the space for it. And now that you have that time to heal, you'll start seeing things that are in alignment with you coming in as well. Use this time, as a side note, use this time to be. It's very important to just learn to be. We don't always have to be doing. Doing something doesn't mean that we're being productive or growing. Sometimes we just need the natural state to just be with ourselves. If you have kids, I understand that this may be difficult for you to do. Bring your children into this practice with you. Let them help establish these routines with you. It's not only healing for you, if you're teaching your kids this process, then man, they're gonna be a little ahead of the game. It's good for them too. So no excuses. Create that space. Beautiful souls, it's always wonderful connecting energetically with you. I hope this video helped. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know how you're creating your space. Let me know how that process is going. Is it difficult? Are you struggling? Shout at me. Let me know what other topics you want to hear about, what's going to help you along your journey. Remember, we are in this together. And until next time, there's nothing but love and light here.